Greetings. Welcome. It's another video. And today, my cat is going absolutely fucking insane in the background. Holy shit. Hi, everybody. We are going to be wrapping up the look at Xmas, winter Xmas, Christmas, whatever the fuck holiday Raff. God, I wish they could actually just decide on a name between the two versions. Anyway, Raff, we took a look at her kit in the previous video. I think it's generally pretty good, but mostly because I like the status effect that is going on with her, and like sometimes status effects just win you matches. But here we go. This is basically the team that I kind of expected would be generally pretty good in this combination. I'm not saying that this is the perfect setup or anything because I'm limited on time this evening, but I also figured that this would be the matchup that she would be generally pretty good into. So this is what we're going to take a look at tonight. And there you go. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I forgot. There's a thing going. Oh, we'll just kill that. Dun, dun, I mean, it's too late. I mean, this is already staying in. So, is what it is, right? Thankfully, the music is chill, so I'm pretty cool. And look at this. We got this nice little setup. How is this map a winter map? Okay, well, let's just jump right in, get moving around, casting abilities, and making ourselves look particularly pretty nice. We're going to throw BB back over here. We're going to get him just casting off some of his abilities. Here is our new Thunder Raff. She's looking wonderful today. And this is where I am actually going to pull up her kit because I'm not super yet. And we do want to go with certain abilities. So first off, let's cast this one right here, which will increase her magic and agility and also reduce the damage she takes based on the size of the attack. So let's get that going. Perfect. Miss Helena here, she's just going to cast her nice ability, Wall of Text, and yeah, we are getting ready to do some tests in a moment. Alright, so now we've got all of those abilities casted. We're going to start taking a peek and seeing what it is. Looks like we got Raff 1 and Raff 2 ready to go. And so here we have Raff, Winter Raff. Sorry, going to try and keep this straight, but we're actually testing two Raffs against one another. First off, Limit Burst. How much damage are we doing here and what exactly are our chances? Well, taking a look at being up against Vivi as well as Raff, we're looking at a pretty high chance of slow across all three units with 100% chance here, 100% chance here, and a 62% chance against the tank, which is actually a pretty good odds overall. Even if the damage isn't particularly that high, being able to select two specific units is pretty nice here. And when you're getting this much chance of slow, it's probably going to actually pop off, which is great. Let's try a few other abilities, see what the damage output is looking. Pretty much the same as the Limit Burst. Test out some AoE abilities, see what we are getting here. Large AoE, and here with Confusion, only a 29% chance, which is a little bit disheartening because hoping that it would have been a little bit more accurate. 48% chance against Vivi and a 0% chance against Raff. So it does scale this right down here as we're looking at against other units, which again, just wanted to say a little bit sad because I was hoping that it would be slightly higher chance, but whatever. Alright, next up, let's cast her other ability, the Shield ability, which is this one right up here. So we're going to get that HP barrier. We are going to get shell effect, and we're also going to get defense debuff weakening. And that should also allow us to just basically get some nice tests against a mage-based team like this, which is very, very strong right now in the current JP meta. And you can see, totally immune. Whereas Bridalaya here is taking about 6,400, and Thunder Astrius, who will be appearing very shortly for Globalers, taking about 3,000, which is not super, super high, but is particularly pretty strong, where Raff is just not taking any of it. So let's try a few other abilities. And damage spread looks generally pretty good against her. We'll also try some physical attacks, but for now, let's just hit her with something. How it works. Pretty good. Throwing BB here. BB also a particularly nasty unit to go up against because of stun. And let's take a look how Raff handles it. So Bridal Lion naturally pretty resistant against stun, as you can see, going down to 28% or 100% with Thunder Astrius. And last but not least, taking a look at Raff, 100% chance, so that's a little bit concerning, but again, taking 0 damage because of the buff that is actively on her is pretty nice. So let's just jump ahead and we'll just try out against something else. Now this is a little bit concerning, and like I said in my previous video, Winter Raff is particularly very good against other magical units and not so good against others. Her barrier, while looking generally just really, really nice, having this really, really good capability of just reducing magic damage to effectively 0 for her between shell and the barrier, is incredibly useless when we have something like this where you're just taking so much damage from physical. Now this is an AoE attack, so jump over to not this. We have a single target attack in here somewhere. Her single target resistance is actually generally pretty good. Here we're looking at about 72 out of 100, which is doing a lot to reduce a bunch of damage, but she will need extra sources of AoE resistance to be resistant against that type of damage as well. Not to mention that the problem with this Thunder team is essentially you are splitting your DPS capabilities. Instead of just focusing on either physical and magical with just, a good tank up in front, you're essentially going almost 66% towards physical and 33% magic, which does work in a little bit for countering certain teams that are strong against damage type. But here you're also kind of just making your DPS overall weaker. And from what we've seen of the stats of Winter Raff, her magic stat isn't overly impressive, so building her on this team is effectively a DPS for the most part. She does come with some support-based skills, one of her secondary job, and some of her support skills here and secondary firing skills will give some nice benefits to other units, but it is more than just a little bit concerning that her DPS kind of suffers a little bit, and it does feel that way. So we're gonna just make her take some damage for right now, because we can. We're mean like that. Our enemies are getting closer, but have no fear. And we're gonna just pass and let Raff take a shot against someone. Now, again, her Limp Burst is giving 30% of the damage done to herself, but we kind of want to trigger her one ability that fires off second ability. I'm just gonna check, make sure that I have that one. Not that. Get the kanji right, damn it. Here we go. So let's fire it off. We're gonna go, let's hit Raff. She's particularly pretty strong and it seems appropriate. Casting time, pretty damn quick, and could be potentially even quicker because if we just cast or focused her on certain espers with casting time down, feels like her abilities would be generally instant from what I've seen. All right, skip ahead a bit because we do want to test this unit. So this unit has gotten a boost from Raff of being able to absorb 30% of the damage done, as well as he's gotten his defense penetration increased. So if we just go here and ow, that hurts a lot. Let's just do it against Helena. Sorry, but let's just test it out. Getting that nice little HP restore, and with Thunder Astrius's secondary hit ability, getting a little bit extra of a regen too. In combination with his other regen ability, he's pretty good at getting a lot of HP back, or potentially throwing it on a tank. Maybe another source of healing, but is essentially damaged. So one more thing to test here. Just kind of need Raff to get her turn again. And we are going to just go up here and fire off a limit burst against these opponents because we are mean people. But we also get to see a limit burst animation. That's pretty fun. And a cool 1300 HP healed off of that with her ability. So yeah, the unlock skill does give herself and her following turn a bit of HP restore, which is really, really nice. I overall think that this unit's pretty cool. I'm not super convinced that this is going to be an overly meta team, at least for now. But in combination, Thunder is potentially getting some interesting things from Raff being added. Particularly a new source of light and dark resistance for other characters. And just a solid way of dealing with some of the strongest mage-based teams out there. Does give Thunder some extra good matchups and is probably worthy of consideration. But yeah, a lot, as some people have noted, definitely not as potent as Shawls. Shawls will always be more potent for that job because of her limit burst and her 120 ability, which are two things that Raff definitely doesn't possess. And make no mistake, Raff is 100% a more DPS focused unit than a support unit. You will get some nice support skills off of her, but they won't be necessarily the things that will truly push her as being anywhere near as good as Shawls is. But overall, for people who are looking for a cheaper unit, I still think that Raff is generally recommendable for fun as well as for limited cost events. So keep that in mind. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and we'll add some more comments in the future as I see JP results roll in. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.